Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 show with me, Andy, and Big D again. Hello, Big D.
Hello.
The plan for today is, because there wasn't much news that I saw that I thought was desperately interesting. Hopefully next week there will be. So we're going to keep going with the Titty Returns and hopefully finish off the finish off the deluxe figures. That's the plan for today.
Crossed.
Yeah, I think we'll manage. There's a few repaints and whatnot, but not. I don't think too much realistically.
Not
I
a.
think.
There's some odd repaints in there, but still not as many as you might.
It's not Combiner Wars.
No, God no.
Yeah. So that's the plan for today. We're gonna get straight into the show. So I'm gonna roll some music and we're gonna get this boat a rocking. Okay.
Groovy.
All right, music time. Oh my god, my mouse just double clicks all fucking time at the moment. Ugh. Here we go. Try again.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. I am Andy. This is Big D. These are the Titans Return figures. Hey, Big D.
Yeah. Hey, man.
This is part three. Pretty sure it's 3.
Yes.
Of our look into the Titans Return figures. Probably my favorite of the lines. We're cracking through, hopefully, the rest of the Deluxes today. There's some good figures in here. The best figure of the line is in this podcast, I think. So we'll have a good time talking about them. I don't think there's many I haven't had that we're going to be talking about today. I think I've had them all.
I think I've had certainly the base releases. I think I've had all of these.
Oh no, there's one I think I haven't had, which is Preceptor. That's the one I haven't had.
Okay.
Because it's just like we'll get to it. Preceptor's a strange one, a strange idea. We're going to be starting off with a Hot Rod and Fire Drive.
Do we not need to start with Weird Wolf? I don't think we did him last time.
We had to leave him off. We'll start with Hot Rod because we've already. I've already started.
He's already queued up.
Yeah, you're right. Technically, we did have Weird Wolf set up, but we didn't have enough time to get to him, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's cool. I just wanted to double check.
Thank you. You kept me on the straight and narrow because I had forgot. So Hot Rod comes with his little gray silver companion who's completely uncolored, which is not great. In terms of a figure, it's not a bad representation of a Hot Rod. The problem that I had with it is, and I got mine through a friend. My friend Wayne gave me his because he didn't want him. He's very, very loose. And he's the only one who uses this mold. It's not ever retooled or remolded really into anything else. So to have it already be really loose in the hips, because it's really the hips that's the bad part.
That is unfortunate. It does get one significant redeco down the line, but nothing like you say. It didn't get used a lot. This one,
no.
Yeah, it had not many releases either. Probably one of the lowest counts of all the Titans Returns. I think Cup had fewer releases, to be fair.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot either, yeah. But again, in terms of just like a figure, he's okay, I guess. I think it's just QC that really kind of throws him off. Proportionally, he's a bit on the weird side as well, and it's mainly because of the Hot Rod shoulders. The shoulders that are stereotypical for a Hot Rod or a Rodimus Prime are so tall they're slowly edging towards Armada Megatron size. Like that's how big they're getting.
They are quite pylon-y, aren't they?
They're very, very pylon-y, and obviously that affects articulation. I'm trying to think, were they this bad for the Classics one? And I don't. They might be.
Classics one had some different issues. They were.
I just mean in terms of tall pylon.
Hang on, let me have a look at, because we're on the Hot Rod page. Let's scroll up, shall we?
Because I do think this is a better, or closer to a G1, just overall a better figure than the previous Classics version.
100%. It's a much better figure overall.
Yeah.
The only issues I do, however, think that for classics and Henkai releases of classics Hot Rod tended to have much better decos than certainly this initial Hot Rod.
I don't know about the
Touch, so-
standard one, because for the standard classics, they went for a really dark maroon, which obviously isn't the right color, and here they've gone for just red, which again isn't the right color for Hot Rod. But Hasbro's the Studio series, they got the wrong color, so they've only just
Yeah.
recently got the pink kind of Hot Rod.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to hold it too hard against them.
Someone at Hasbro has a real issue with painting Hot Rod
Well,
maroon.
I think
or,
it's
let's be honest, pink.
because you got to remember that it's not like you can't do it because girl. It's because it's like it has to be based on toy.
Yes.
It's this weird thing where Hasbro are like, we'll see it with Cup as well. They are pinpoint focused on toy color schemes for some reason, and I'm sure there are fans out there who want toy color schemes. I think, and obviously I don't know for sure, it is a supposition, that the majority of fans would prefer cartoon accurate versions for the first version, and then for like maybe a second release, that would be the toy version or the Marvel comic version.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I would like either the cartoon or the comic as the mainline release.
Yeah.
And then the toy.
The reason I'd say you couldn't have the comic for the first release or the primary release is just because, me and you are very old, and I think the comic is more niche than the cartoon, especially at this point. I think you're more likely to get younger people who'd be interested in the cartoon version than the comic. That could be wrong.
And in fairness, when you start talking about comic color schemes, you then start getting into territory of, well, which issue are you going by, and how was the printer feeling the day it went to print?
Yeah,
some of those issues there's very little consistency.
Yeah, I imagine there wasn't much care because it's like Transformer comic, who gives a shit?
I do think that cartoon deco would be the one that, and hell, especially the because it's the movie.
Yes,
when it's someone who's been in that part of the property, especially, that's where you want it to be. That as opposed to
I think again, younger fans or fans who are just coming into the kind of franchise are again more likely to just watch the 80 movie rather than the cartoon. Again, I could be wrong, but I think primarily that will be their. If they've never tried G1, I think that would probably be their first introduction to G1. Then try out however many episodes G1 as a cartoon series was. I don't think a lot of people would rush to that,
30 odd for season 1, 50 odd for season 2, 30 odd for season 3, and then Headmasters.
You mean 4. Rebirth? Oh yeah, Rebirth.
Yeah,
okay.
Rebirth.
Yeah, so we're edging to 100, and I don't see a lot of new fans would be like, especially with like the issues that the 80s cartoon has in writing, which was very standard. It's a very people say that I get annoyed when people will say the G1 cartoon was bad. It wasn't bad. It was just not exceptional for the time. It was completely average in terms of its story.
The thing is, there were worse shows doing what it did in the 80s, and they were a lot better as well.
And
there were shows that went way longer than you ever expected. Long past even what Transformers managed in terms of episode count, and just think, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
And others that you would have thought would have gone longer and only had maybe not even a dozen episodes.
Well, it's whatever hooked, I suppose, and probably what the toy sales did.
Yeah,
as this was the avenue.
That's the brutal arithmetic at the end of the day.
Because you remember Samurai Jack was cancelled because the toy line didn't sell. It's like, well, the show wasn't developed for a toy line, you fucking idiot.
They did a toy line?
Yeah, there was a brief toy line.
And they used it as the basis for...
No, I think that came after. I can't remember, but I think there were toys for the original Samurai Jack, but... Because I'm pretty sure I remember Jack and some kind of horse he came with. I don't remember.
Okay.
I'd have to look up online, but I don't remember the toy selling well, which is like, oh, well, got to get rid of it. Cartoon Network.
I'm not surprised because it's not that sort of property.
No, it's not. It's not visually designed to be that kind of
I mean,
property.
T-shirts, yeah. Merch,
Yeah. Yep.
Toys,
No, yeah. Axel Hedge says, but it is better than Classics plus Fans Project upgrade. But sorry, but is it better than Classics plus the Fan Project upgrade? Yes, and I would
it's
say
a fraction of
yes.
the price.
Yeah, that's why, because it's way cheaper. This was
Yeah.
£15. The Classics was £12 when it came out. Big D, do you
Yep.
remember how much the kit was, the upgrade kit?
The kit, I think it's about 50 quid.
Yeah, I was going to guess probably
It,
like
wa-
50.
it wasn't cheap.
No, and this is
'Cause
like back in the day.
I did contemplate picking it up more than once.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant buy it and then buy it again. Not like you thought about just buying it. I thought you meant like buying multiple copies of it.
No, I'm not that mad.
I thought about buying it and then buying it again. I'm like, oh, why? Why? No, but yeah, I would say XL Hedge, like visually, if we're not taking price into consideration, it like the Fans Project upgrade kit does make it look better. But if I remember, the Fans Project kit was not like a massive upgrade in terms of how it transformed. I
No,
don't think it was smooth, was
it's
it?
not the same quality. I wouldn't have put it in the same class as their City Commander upgrade.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I remember hearing people say like the City Commander was really good. The Rodimus one was like, I don't think they said it was a huge downgrade, but it wasn't on the same level.
I think
it was worse.
Basically, you're dealing with City Commander has an excellent base figure to build off of.
Yeah,
and a style that was already established with the original Ultra Magnus toy, so they could work off of that. The Hot Rod upgrade was trying to do something a lot more drastic in some ways.
Yeah.
And to a figure that really didn't have the framework to make it gel 100%.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, it's a valiant effort, but in the history of third-party upgrades, very important.
Yeah.
But it end of the day, like you say, this was 15 quid versus 12 quid plus having to track down that upgrade kit, which wasn't easy.
And then actually, like you say, actually having to buy it as well. The Japanese did their version of the Titans Return Hot Rod. It's not pink. It is a much darker maroon color, but visually he's got more paint on him. The Titan Master, instead of just being silver, actually has color on him. I wouldn't say it looks like anyone you'd know.
It looks more like a smaller version of Hot Rod himself.
Kind of, but not
fits.
really.
I mean, it's got the chest plate, it's got the black legs. The arms aren't right, but the head and everything else, you can kind of, given how that market worked with their transtectors for headmasters, it makes sense from that perspective that the head would look more like him in its own robot mode.
I think it's mainly the arms that throw it off, because like if they colored the arms to be like maroon and then him having like little orange fists, that would probably mush him a bit closer. I like this color scheme, don't get me wrong, and it's better than just silver.
The black arms I think is important though, because it helps the head itself.
100%, yeah.
Gel a lot better than otherwise.
It's just it doesn't make it look like Hot Rod. That's the issue, I would say.
Yeah, it's a nice deco overall though. I've always been quite sad I never got around to picking this deco up, because
there's one thing I don't really like about it, and it's the translucent front bumper hub thing, top of the car that they've used. They've painted it mostly orange, and then they've left the center part, the fire effect, to be translucent, and it's mainly the translucent bit I don't like. It's an interesting effect, but I don't think it looks better than just like,
you know what,
a tampo.
Until I was reading the description of the figure, I'd never realised that was a translucent piece that had just been painted over and the flame left clear.
Yeah,
because you're so used to it not, with Hot Rod, but it's actually normally a separate piece of decoration on top. It's an odd one, isn't it, that opted for that.
Yeah, because they've tampoed an Autobot insignia over the top of it. Because I would have said, oh no, you can't. I was going to say you put it higher up, but you can't because that's where the engine goes in vehicle mode. But it looks odd. It doesn't look quite
It does.
right.
I mean, but the annoying thing is that they've got that panel that covers the engine in robot mode on the chest, and it's perfect for you to put an Autobot symbol right slap bang in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
But because they wanted it to have the symbol in car mode as well, they couldn't. They had to put it on the flame, which puts it lower down so it looks off.
And it's still, I think if you had the sticker up on that place, it wouldn't fix the flames. The flames would still look weird.
Yeah.
It was just an odd choice. The biggest boon is obviously in Rebirth. Hot Rod was a target master. He was not in America. He had a weird seat gun which you awkwardly clip together to make an awkward seat. Here he has his target master, and it's good. I mean, it's nothing crazy. He doesn't. You just kind of flip his legs up behind his head and turn his waist around to be his gun, and you flip this translucent piece over the top of its head to kind of cover it up and be the gun. But it's a target master, and it's size appropriate, and it looks about what you would expect from a target master. It's not bad.
And they've even retooled the engine block so you can put the gun in there.
Yes, that's nice. It looks a bit, because it's obviously got a giant hole in it now, but it's like, it looks good. Yeah. It's fine. You know, whatever.
At least it serves a purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
The way they did it with the Western one, with those slots to plug the combined gun in, always did my head in, because I hate those slots on anything they use them for.
It's actually funny when you go on what's his name's page, Firebolt. Yeah, when you go on Firebolt's page and you look at the Legends version, and then they have the Siege one beneath them, and they don't look anything alike.
Yeah,
they're nothing alike.
Yeah, and it's a shame because I have that Firebolt, the Siege one, because it's the only one I was able to pick up, and it's so frustrating. And the thing is, he's actually not a bad target master.
No, he's fine.
It's just compared to tougher one.
It feels like an older, cheaper figure compared to the Japanese one, which feels a lot more premium, as is the way with the Japanese stuff, as we've said before.
And it's so weird because Firebolt for Siege is a standalone release that's intended to be bought separately.
Yep.
And yet it feels worse than what's basically a bonus with another.
Yep, it's bizarre. It's really funny. I really like how Firebolt looks, though. Like I say, the only issue I have is I don't like that the gun head cover piece is translucent. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. But the detailing and paint job on him is good. He's silver, which he just should be. And like you said, Big D, he works well with the Hot Rod as well. He's had a nice upgrade. He's, again, not exactly perfect, but visually, he does look better. QC-wise, I don't know how this Hot Rod fares compared to the Siege version. I imagine if it's not comparable, it might be a little bit better. You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't say for sure.
The only concern I'd have would be that chest plate being translucent, because that's going to be a long-term... Ooh.
Yeah, I can't remember how it's held on. If it's held on by a pin or something else, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. So, who knows? Not me.
Yeah.
You mentioned Weird Wolf, so let's go and have a look at.
There is one more Hot Rod deco we probably need to just mention in passing.
Oh, what was the one I missed?
Ken Masters.
Oh, I didn't even consider Kenneth. Yeah.
And it's funny because they've used the Takara tooling for Hot Rod, because he has the 5mm port in the engine block, but he has the guns from the Titan's Return release.
It's weird, yeah. And then they do the weird thing of, like, obviously they've colored the feet, the hands, the chest plate, and then bits of the shoulders flesh colored, which always looks weird on a robot.
It is. However, I find the fact that they've managed to they've used the chest plate to represent his very slutty
the open part of the gi.
Yes.
Yeah.
I find that hilarious. That's how they've done that.
It's a pretty smart idea.
Yeah.
And I think the
I mean,
Titan Master looks pretty good. You know, they've got
Yeah.
that done up to look like Ken as well. And it's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
appropriate. You
I mean,
know,
these Street Fighter 2 figures were always a bit of a what the hell?
yeah.
But you know what? They're fun. There's something charming about all of them, I think, even if some of them lean a little more into the.
I would definitely describe them as an interesting idea, but mostly fucking ugly.
Well, yes.
Like they're hideous figures, but they're an interesting idea.
Yeah.
It's like something your child would do to a Transformer, customizing it for the first time. You're like, I guess you could do that. It doesn't look good, but you could do that. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? But yeah, thank you for reminding me on that one because I'd forgotten about Kenneth.
If I have to remember, everyone else does.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So Weird Wolf or Wolfwire, had to change his name. Couldn't get him to look like G1. They've had to change Weird Wolf a little bit in terms of his looks. I didn't get this one because I didn't like how he was painted or anything like that. I got the Japanese version. So what do I remember? The main issue with this figure is the big back panel. It's quite huge where you open it up. His back opens up and you can slot the Titan Master into his back. It's a large piece and it's all translucent.
Yes, it is.
And the pin that goes through the head, or the part that's the neck joint, this part and I think another part, the little round bits there will crack on you. And I don't think there's anything you can do about it. Mine cracked. I didn't do anything too strenuous with it. But mine cracked, and I hadn't even touched it too much, which was rather annoying because mine's the Japanese version. But again, even Japan couldn't be saved from cracking plastic. Has yours done it? Do you know, Big D, or have you not noticed? Because it probably has.
I mean, I've not touched mine in best part of a decade, so I can't comment. But I mean, for the few months I had easy access to mess around with him, it seemed fine.
Yeah, that might change if you ever transform it again, potentially.
Yeah. We shall see on that score.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike the deck of it. I thought it was a perfectly fine representation of Weird Wolf.
I mean, the color placement's fine, but he has that issue of his waist, the parts around his chest that aren't the main chest piece are noticeably a much lighter yellow.
Yes, that is a tad frustrating.
Yeah, one of those. Also, new head design, not accurate to the cartoon. That's another reason why I didn't get it. It was an odd head design.
A nice big chunky blaster, so that's something.
Yeah, it was one of the better like seat guns, I thought. Though it is like just obnoxious as it usually is. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he has some issues with his shoulders. The design of how the shoulder joint works isn't too good. Yeah, it's like the ball joints on sticks pointing outwards. They're going to these big circles inside of the arms, but there's no hinge to allow the arms to kind of work around the circle, so they can only go out a very small amount. You can't T-pose him at all. You can't even get close to T-posing. I'm trying to think what degree he could probably get his arm out. Probably 90s that. Would you like maybe 45? Maybe less than 45 degrees outwards.
Generously 45.
Yeah.
Probably a little less in fairness.
Yeah, it's one of his biggest downfalls, just in terms of the design. I do like how his legs transform. I like the big yellow panel that shifts from the upper part of the wolf leg to the shins. I think that's quite a nice idea.
Yeah, and I do like that he's one of still a bit of a rarity at this point. He actually of the line, shall we say, he has ankle rockers due to the nature of how his feet transform.
Yeah. So, they don't give him a lot of tilt, but they obviously more than most. It's still there and it works to a degree. It's really bad shoulders. I like the dog head can open its little mouth and woof. That's good. I appreciate that. He can use his tail as a sword, as per usual. And that's really about it for Weird Wolf. Because then we have the one that I have, which is the Legends version, which comes with a new head to look like the cartoon version, which is why I wanted it. The yellow is completely consistent. And he now has the ape face Headmaster, Titan Master vehicle thing, but now it's yellow.
I must admit, part of me does enjoy seeing some of these vehicles get with the redecos they got slapped with, because some of them are a little. They normally always match whoever they've been paired with, obviously.
Yes.
But it's always fun to see what they do, what they've done with which one they picked to do it with.
Yeah. This ape face thing looks way more thuggish than standard ape face, just because he's yellow and gray and a bit of green here and there. It looks like, to me, you know, when you came into Streets of Rage and you got a random redeco of a character you've already beaten.
Oh yeah.
Reminds me of one of them. Like later in the game, it's just, oh, it's this character, but now he's yellow for some reason, and he's
your brain
harder.
just goes, oh god, he's yellow. That means he's going to hit up like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the guy that has the green mohawk who slides on the ground.
Yeah.
Reminds me a bit of that guy for no reason at all. But yeah, you get the extra weapon. Otherwise, the main difference is the color scheme or the color placement is pretty much the same. It's not real change to the color scheme, but for me, the head being the cartoon accurate head was quite important.
A little bit more paint on the sword, which is nice.
Yeah.
But as ever, it just feels a little bit more premium than the mainline release. And yes. I get why you'd have gone for this one over the main one. I think I was in the first couple of waves, I just kind of bought them as they released and wasn't really paying attention to Takara. And then I became a bit more aware of the work they were putting in and how much better they generally were than the mainline.
I must have found out about them through doing the podcasts. That must have been how I came across them, and maybe it was one of those things that they hadn't been released here by the time the images had been cropping up from Japan. It's the only thing I can assume. But in terms of other repaints of this figure, he got obviously redone for the retro line, where his color scheme was once again more muted for some reason. So he's more slightly caramel kind of yellow, but again, the placement of the
towards mustard.
Yeah, the colors is about the same, I'd say, generally. But he has the cartoon head from Japan. Does it say anything about breakage? Thankfully, the cockpit quality control issue seems to be fixed on some samples of the release. The teeth seem fine as well. What was the issue with the teeth? I don't know what the issue was with the teeth. Maybe they got scraped. So maybe this was the version where he didn't destroy himself.
Jaws should move from time to time, so I'm sure they don't stick. Because the teeth are rubbery, so they tend to become gummy.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I haven't noticed that. Okay.
Oh, that could be an issue if I haven't done mine in a decade.
Due to being right up against soft translucent red plastic, thin yellow plastic of Wolfwire's cockpit starts to break at the hinge over time. This issue seems fairly common and occurs to some degree on most, if not all, copies of the toy. Thankfully, the same soft translucent red plastic keeps the cockpit secure to the pin. It's just a real bad look, though. And then it says the gummy teeth that you mentioned. So it's not actually the translucent plastic of the cockpit that brings.
That's interacting with that. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
you don't really stop to consider sometimes just how much kind of chemical engineering has to be thought about when they're designing these.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like because it doesn't destroy both bits of the yellow plastic. I think it's only one part of the yellow plastic on either the outside or the inside of the red, as far as I remember. So it's very bizarre, very strange. So that apparently not an issue on the retro Headmaster version from 2021, but for the Japanese one and for the original version, it does break down for stupid chemistry reasons. Then there was Carnivac from Age of the Primes, which was a multi-pack special cool feature version where they changed up the color scheme and gave him a brand new head. And this was our first Carnivac in a long, long time. I prefer him coming with a big wolf shell, but this is a good, you're not going to get that. So this is as close as you get. No. He does get his original looking gun, though. So that's nice.
I mean, if I ever get around to doing a survivor's shelf, this is perfect, because he doesn't need the wolf shell for that, because he lost it midway through that run.
Yeah.
And Is it perfect? No. Is it a Carnivec figure in the year 2026? Hell yes. I'll take it.
2021 where he came out, technically, I suppose. No, 25. No, it's 2025 last year.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a figure from a while ago. What was that? Some 5 years before. Oh, it was almost like 10 years old at that point. 9 years
Yeah.
old. And they just bring it out from storage. It's like, oh, Hasbro. Bless you, little socks.
The thing is, though, they replaced the translucent for the hatch.
I bloody hope so. They'd fixed it in 2021 with Weird Wolf, so for the retro series. So.
Yep. So you don't get the issue with the T5 because of that.
Mm-hmm.
The head sculpt for the robot mode is really nice.
Even
if they've kind of fudged the visor on the wolf mode just by painting over the whole front of the head instead.
Yeah.
But it works. If you want a Carnivec, there's one out there. Is it perfect? No. Are we going to get a better version? I highly doubt it.
I not with the way things are going with Transformers. Not for a long time, at least.
Yeah.
And again, honestly, it would just be a repaint of somebody else, probably.
Yeah. And honestly, given you can pick up this set, I mean, I got it for, what, 35 quid?
You should get it relatively cheap, because it is one of those, like, who would want this pack? Because it's like him and Fistatron, which is a redo of...
Hound into Iron Fist.
And Hound's not a great figure, so this is probably the better figure out of the two of them.
I mean, I'll be honest, I quite like how Iron Fist works out, because they gave him a nice big extra chunk of plastic to represent his laser. What was his the blinding part of? You know, that laser rangefinder thing from the original toy.
Sure. So he was based off the Earthspot, the Earthrise mold for Hound, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. That's not a good figure. That's not a good mold. I don't like that mold at all.
Fair dues.
It's got problems. I found. But yeah, that is Carnivec. He's done and dusted. We can get on to the best figure of Titan's Return, which is Trigger Happy. Yeah. Trigger Happy and Blowpipe. A Blowpipe, of course, being his head, not his target master. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
This was the one I got because I didn't know they were doing the Titan Master version of him. So this is the only. It's the only one of the Decepticon Target Masters I have who's the English version, and the only way I justify it is he does come with a lot of guns.
Good gravy, does he? He's packing some serious firepower as Trigger Happy.
Yes, and in terms of his color scheme, it's perfectly fine. I don't think it's bad at all. It's not exciting, but neither is Trigger Happy's color scheme. The thing that really sets it apart is the transformations. Really interesting. Is one of the fun features is the entire chest torso, excluding the shoulders, rotates around independently.
There's some really good engineering in Trigger Happy.
Yeah, it's just fun to do, and it's not complex.
No, you look at it, and as soon as you're not sure, and then as soon as it clicks in your head, it's like, oh, of course, and you can just do it in. And it's probably one of the more intuitive transformations once you get your head around it. I've had the pleasure of messing around with.
Yeah. Robot mode wise, he doesn't have ankle rockers, which is a shame. And he has hot rod style shoulders, which again is a shame. But again, I just think it's a really fun toy.
He has better shoulder articulation, I think, than Hot Rod does.
Yes, he's just got that weird shoulder design. His shoulders don't point up as much. It's just the ball joint sticks out and is on a hinge, and then the shoulders peg onto those joints. It's not always the most pretty look for a shoulder joint, but it's perfectly functional at least, which is always nice to see.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's just a good, solid transformation and interesting and fun to do.
And there's lots of stuff you can do. I mean, you can flip his fists in and put his jet mode guns over his hands, which is fun. He's got the two guns that form the bigger gun, but he can actually store both of them in jet mode on the wing pylons, which is quite novel, to be fair.
The only thing that doesn't look quite nice is they do become a seat gun when combined together, but you just don't do that. Don't make
No.
them a seat gun, and it looks a lot better.
Absolutely.
The Japanese version doesn't really change up the color scheme too much. There's a little bit here and there for the most part. The most notable thing is that they have Trigger Happy's face with orange for what you would class as the nose or the skin tone, rather than it just being, I think it was blue, wasn't it, on the standard release? They didn't really do it. So this is more accurate, and he comes with a real blowpipe, which I don't think is one of my favorite of the designs for the Target Masters. Blowpipe just because you flip the legs almost over the gun barrels and stick them out sideways.
There's an extra joint in the kind of behind the back for hips, then rotate up and over, and it. I mean, it does. I know with most Target Masters, you kind of think they're doing contortions, but it does rather look like you're breaking his spine to transform him more than you'd expect.
No, see, my problem is it covers too much of the gun.
As well, yeah.
Because with the original blowpipe, he was quite a long gun, and with these legs covering up pretty much, like, I'd say, I don't know, like 80% of the barrel piece. It really kind of fans up the gun and shortens them down and doesn't look quite as nice. But his robot mode is pretty much exactly what you'd want the Target Master robot mode to look like. He's got the big gun and the small little stubby gun next to each other, just behind his head. And he's got the right proportions and everything. It's just like, I wish they'd figured out a better way to do the legs. Even if it was just doing it the same way that they did for the Autobot Target Masters, I think that would have been a little bit better, I think.
Yeah. Is this going to be an odd situation where arguably the Siege Target Master might be a better representation for this particular character? Blowpipe.
Yes and no, I guess.
It's still not perfect, but I mean, it gets the deco right for the most part, even if it's a bit of a boring grey they've used. But and it's still perhaps not quite long enough because the transformation is noticeably different how for the gun forms. But it feels more complete as a gun.
Yeah, I describe this one as feeling like the kids' Nerf version. It's bigger and made to not look quite like a gun. But it is more, I think you're probably right. It is a little bit more accurate, but it's just too inflated. It's too fat. It's got too much helium in it and has puffed it up a little bit too much. I have this, and I think it's better than Firebolt, at least. I do think it's a little bit nicer looking than Firebolt, but not massively.
That's fair.
I like robot wise, the Legend one is better. Siege wise, I think the gun mode might be not massively better, but I think the Siege one is better for the gun version, which is odd. Like you said as well, it's just there was no happy medium for Blowpipe, unfortunately. But the mold was, of course, used once again. We're not going to talk about the Legend Sonic Bomber or Die Atlas because there's two figures that kind of crop into that, but I don't want to talk about him yet. I want to talk about Die Atlas and Big Powered Convoy as a package when we talk about Overlord. So that's why we're not going to do that. For the Siege big box set, they did a version of him into Metalhawk,
which was unexpected.
And yet was probably at the time this was way better than the BotCon Timelines version, which was the next version. The previous version. So this looked better. It was obviously a better mold. They instead of going for like a nice gold, they went for this kind of dirty toffee goldish kind of color, which doesn't look desperately nice on him. And I wish they'd figured out the cockpit color scheme a little bit better because it's just a little bit too hard red. But generally speaking, I think this was one of the better figures in those sets. because it was the big
Yeah,
fight set.
certainly one of the more in demand of those figures.
Was this the one that came with in the Optimus Prime set? Titans Master Optimus Prime, Metal Hawk, and then 2 other figures. Because I don't think this was in the Quick Switch one, because Quick Switch had Nautica.
Yes, no, Nautica had Prime in.
Oh, it was the other way around. Okay.
I can't remember what Voyager was in. Actually, there's a way to check what Voyager that was.
Oh, well, while you have a look, I'll say that Exelhead said, "We need Trigger Happy to show up more in fiction." I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I wouldn't be against it.
The box for Metal Hawk came in. You had the redeco of Kara Jinrai as Magnus Prime, and they did a redeco of Broadside as Tidal Wave.
Oh, it's that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one. I didn't get. That was one of the figures I didn't get because it was
yeah,
bad.
This one was really only. I mean, you had the Thunderwing Titan Master.
That was nice. I like that. That was the best thing about the set, if I remember.
Yeah. Then Metal Hawk was in quite a lot of demand, and then it was really. I mean, for Magnus Prime was just because people who hadn't been able to pick up the Takara Jinrai, that was a way to get it over here at relatively cheap price overall, because it was what 60, 70 quid for the box set, and
something like that. Yeah,
you basically you buy.
It was basically 70 quid from Japan, so it's that plus extra free figures. So it's like, okay, whatever.
So it works out in the wash.
Yeah.
End of the day.
Yeah, and this was a good Metal Hawk. They gave him a new face, but that was about it. My issue with the red is the trigger happy guns that go into his vehicle mode are very, very, very bright red, and I don't know whether these are the photos doing it, but it makes the rest of the reds look really like dull in comparison. Especially like if you look at the Big D, if you look at the guns and then you look at the wings slightly behind them, they look like two different shades. And
the thing is, that carries over to the robot mode as well, because those guns still look brighter.
Yeah. And again, could be the photo. It's sometimes how magic photos work when you take them and how they kind of come across. But that would be my issue I'd have with this figure, the weird red consistency and the not very nice gold on him. But otherwise, this was the best one we had. Do you think the Legacy Metal Hawk is better? Because it is more accurate, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's got got the weird, crappy Cyclonus knees, doesn't it? So it's not really good in that aspect, you could argue.
I mean, the knees aren't bad on that Metal Hawk, because they're a bit more. Then they still don't click in like the Studio Series Cyclonus knees are supposed to.
Yeah,
but they're not as prone to collapsing in my experience as the regular Cyclonus ones are.
Obviously, the issue with the Studio Series Cyclonus is they removed pieces from that figure, so now he doesn't have the jet parts that cover up the knees in the vehicle mode.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah,
I mean, I like the Legacy Metal Hawk.
I never got it.
To have bought it twice.
No, once was fine.
Yeah, the one I got. I'm just glad to have a Metal Hawk in my collection.
Which one did you get? Did you get the first one, or did you get the second one?
I got the first one.
Okay.
I got the first one. And honestly, I've wanted a Metal Hawk ever since I passed up the opportunity to buy the G1 Metal Hawk in Hong Kong. Because he was on a shelf in the toy shop. And instead I bought a Decepticon Pretender.
Which one? Do you remember?
It might have been Skullgrin.
I mean, as a kid, I would say that was the better choice. As a collector in the future, obviously, that was the worst choice.
I mean, I also walked right past Fortress Maximus.
Oh, there's no way your parent would have bought that for you.
No, I had the money to buy it.
Oh, then that's on you then.
Yeah, I'd saved and I went into walked past a shop that.
Why did you not get it out of interest? Do you remember?
I think it was because we were in the process of getting ready to move.
I was going to say, I can't imagine moving that would have been a pain.
I think I suspected if I'd come back to the flat with a box that big, I'd have been thrown off the balcony.
Yeah, because like if you're gonna try that was a big box to try and hop
Oh yeah,
back to the UK, especially if you're moving the rest of your shit as well.
yeah.
Woof. But yeah, it's this redeco, not too bad. Was there another
Hmm.
one that I missed out on, or was that it
Uh,
for the
that,
trigger happy versions of the mold?
that was it for Trigger Happy.
All right. Well, then it did get redone, as I mentioned, to the rest of the target masters. So we have now Misfire, who I think
Yeah.
is generally considered, and I think I would consider the best mold version of the mold. Do you agree with that?
I, mm,
I like it the most.
I think I probably prefer Trigger Happy. But that's because Trigger Happy was a toy I had the G1 version of, so I have
Mm.
that fondness. I do quite like Misfire's alt mode.
Yes,
It's a very nice alt mode.
in some ways, it's a little bit better than the G1 version, mainly because they actually gave him wings instead of the erectile dysfunction wings he had on the G1 toy. They're very, very, very small, piddly wings on that G1 figure.
It's a much more aerodynamic jet.
In quotations,
it actually feels like it could fly.
Yes.
In some reality, you could imagine it flying.
I think the only issue it really has is in vehicle mode, the arms are much more exposed than they were on Trigger Happy, where they were a little bit more hidden because you had the guns kind of doing their bits, and you had the wings kind of sticking out the side of the arms, so kind of meshed in a little bit more. Where here you're kind of meant to use the wings, which are on top of the arms, to try and pretend that you can't see them.
Yeah, Trigger Happy had, like I say, he had the benefit of how his arms formed the guns and the wing pylons.
Yeah.
Trigger Happy doesn't. Misfire doesn't have that benefit, unfortunately, which is a shame. But I don't think it's a massive knock.
No.
It just makes you think that he's got extra, boosters in the rear section or some nonsense like that. So it's not as bad as some jet formers have been.
Yeah, maybe. He does have a ugly seat gun. They're more like null rays, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Head sculpt's really nice, and he is very, very pink. Very, very pink.
Oh yes.
And the headmaster's fine. However, if you were like me and you were a real boy, you got the Legends version, where he is the correct kind of pink. Like the American one is much more RC pink. This is more correct Misfire pink.
Hot pink.
Yeah, it's like edging to the red, more red than the other one, which is more like very bright, like bathroom pink, or RC pink, if you want to go that way.
Yeah. This is a very nice deco overall.
Yes.
I was one of like you. I bought this version of Misfire, and his partner, as we'll see shortly, the same, because it was obvious by this point that you might as well go for the Takara version for the little bit extra it cost you.
Yeah, it was worth it at the end of the day. Mold wise, he's pretty much the same. Oddly enough, it doesn't show up on the photo here, but the face on Misfire is actually the kind of lavender the bathroom pink rather than white. So the little mouth and nose area, that's not white.
Oh yeah,
it's very slightly pink.
Slightly off.
Yeah. Which I was confused about when I got it originally. I was like, is that accurate? And I was like, I don't care. It looks better, generally speaking. I think I would have been fine if it had been white, but yeah.
I mean, given that when this came out, Misfire was kind of kicking off as part of the more meets the eye / Lost Light comic, as that Decepticon crew of misfits. This was great to have in the collection.
In terms of his gun, it transforms exactly the same as Trigger Happy, so it does have a lot of humph in the back of it, which, for aimless, I should say, which is a bit more accurate to the original kind of figure. It's still not perfect. It still looks a little bit janky, but his original toy was a little bit janky as well. It was more like a weird, like, pea shooter rather than a rifle, which Misfire's was. Trigger Happy's was.
the way some of the original Target Masters became guns, but there was a lot of variety, but some of them were rather more successful than others.
Well, to be fair,
put it mildly.
the Autobots ones were better purely for the fact that they use pins rather than for some reason the Decepticon ones were all on clicky joints. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. They easily broke. But like I say again, this is closer than what Trigger Happy's was. I still don't generally like the overall shape of the gun, but I think the way that the robot looks is nice. And maybe I didn't get. Oh no, I see. Aimless for Siege is just Trigger. It's just Blowpipe again, but in slightly different colors
and with a different gun. Yeah.
Which gun? Do you mean the gun piece?
The gun piece is different.
That's right. It's barely noticeable, but yes, it is slightly different. Yeah. Otherwise, it looks pretty much the same. So it's arguably it's too long. This version's too long.
Funnily enough, the way that they got the transformation set up, where the feet on some of these fold over and they have like ordnance sculpted into the bottom of the feet, that'd have actually been perfect for them to have
the gun barrels, right?
Oh, yeah. Have a way to but
this would have been perfect. The way that you fix it, or you should have done it, is you don't have him have this extra gun barrel piece. You have obviously it would cost money to do it, but you just have little, like you say, like barrels coming out the bottom of his feet, and it would be the weird dumpy, slightly derpy looking gun that he had in the cartoon, and it would have beaten technically the gun mode of the Japanese version. Comparing both of these together, the Japanese one is probably more accurate, and the robot mode is better. So, and the Japanese one gets it all over here, I would say.
Again, it's an accessory that has more paint than a mainline release.
Yeah. The weird thing is, this guy and Trigger Happy didn't come with the extra seat guns, or with any extra like animal friends, like the Decepticon ones and whatnot. They had the extra vehicles. The Target Masters did not come with that stuff.
Yeah, and they did the same thing with couple of the Autobot Target Masters. With, guys, Target Master parts got the same deal. They didn't get in, they just had the gun, which not a bad thing.
I'm guessing that the logic was they had to spend money to make this Target Master mold, so you weren't going to get the weird American, bizarre little shitty vehicle thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Misfire was reused at all, apart from bits of him were heavily retooled for Sonic Bomber. So we'll leave that as that. And next up we have Slug Slinger. Once again, I got the Japanese version, so I did not get this American version. However, technically, this came with something close-ish enough to his Target Master. Not completely, but close-ish.
Yeah. He had an interesting little extra weapon, didn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't a seat gun, but it was two halves of a gun, one with like two barrels and then one with one barrel to kind of mimic the Target Master, but it wasn't actually the Target Master. In terms of his color scheme, he was more of a, again, toy version of his color scheme. He did have the double cockpit, and then, funnily enough, he had the cockpit for his Titan Master, so, technically 3 cockpits.
Yeah, it's goofy, but
it's perfectly fine.
He does have an absolutely killer head sculpt.
Yeah, it's really good. The wings hide the arms way better than they do Misfire's. You barely know the arms transform the exact same way, but the wings cover them up, so they're way less noticeable than how Misfire's were.
Yeah, just a case of the alt mode works to hide it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is funny because the wings just kind of hang off the back in robot mode, which is
it's accurate, but they're just there. They don't really do anything. They're just on like little flaps, so you can flap them up and down if you're inclined to. So the Japanese version, he turned from a very, very light turquoise blue to just blue. Which in some ways is nice, but when you have this next to Trigger Happy, they're a little bit too close color scheme wise.
They do look a little too similar, don't they?
Yeah, I think the Japanese one's a little bit of a darker blue, but not much. I'm trying to remember. I think in the cartoon, at least in Rebirth, isn't he like super dark blue, almost black colored?
Yeah, I think that's where we got the color for the Age of the Primes release of him.
Yeah, because he's not light blue because that's the toy version. He's not just normal blue because that's the Japanese Headmaster's color scheme version of him.
Mm.
He does come with his Target Master partner, his new one, which again transformed the exact same way the previous ones did. It's Caliburst. We don't have a link for. We have a link for. We have a link for there. It's there's a link in the Titan Master one, not in the Legends one for whatever reason. I think I got Caliburst as well from America, which is not the right look. It's just that's just a trigger happy gun barrel as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a redeco of Blowpipe. No real change. It's one of those where, I mean, the Siege Target Masters got reused an awful lot.
Yeah. And it's funny because they colored him black and purple, which is not his color scheme. He looks nice though, color scheme wise. It's just
I think I've used him as Nightstick. To be fair,
that's closer. It's closer to being Nightstick. Yeah. It's not perfect, but it's like it's way more that than it is Caliburst. To be fair, the Japanese one has a unique barrel, so he has the singular barrel. And then obviously just looks like Caliburst and transforms the same as the rest of the Decepticon Target Masters. So it's not a great looking gun.
It is a shame that they all share that same, because I do think the fact that their legs transform the same way is what makes the Decepticon Target Masters from this line feel a little worse, because
it's just a bad design. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what holds it back.
Because the guns themselves are really nice designed. The robots look good and are nicely painted. But the gun with the legs folded, especially because they're folded sideways and plugged into each other. I think they might be aiming for them to look like maybe a scope or something.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Maybe if they'd actually painted that recessed area to...
I think even then, it would help sell it, but I think it would still cover up too much of the gun and make it look a bit too cumbersome. I think the better way is to not have the hip joint flip up and take the hips with it and just bend the knees. Now, it won't be as tight and secure, but it would probably just make the gun look a little bit nicer overall, I think.
Yeah, not as scrunched up.
Yes, exactly. XL Hedge says, looking at Slug Slinger, I kind of wish it was repainted into Pretender double headers in a robot. That would have been a decent idea. I think giving him a new head would be good.
To be fair.
Yeah, same. Oh, well, to be fair, there's still time, Big D.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, double header, they probably could have gotten away with just because his original toy, I don't think his head is particularly exciting anyway.
Probably not.
They could probably have gotten away with just doing a straight repaint.
I think it'd be nice if they remolded it, just because they did it with Weird Wolves and what's his name, who we talked about. Carnivac. Yeah, they did it with if it's only one piece and they did it with Carnivac, they could do it with double header.
That's true. That would be nice if.
Yeah. It'd be possible. It'd be something they could do. That's a good call, though, at Axel Hedge. You mentioned that there was another use of the mold, and that's right. It was Age of the Primes, Slug Slinger versus Springer for some reason. Again,
wasn't it versus Sandstorm?
Sandstorm, sorry. Yeah. Again, why?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Now, the sad thing here is he has the cartoon accurate color scheme, which is nice. And if you want the cartoon version, it's good. He does not come with a Target Master. He probably should have came with a Target Master, I think.
Even if it was just the Siege Target Master.
That would have been disappointing, but yes. At the very least, that would have been something.
But if it had been deco to match this deco,
yeah, that
would have been quite nice, actually.
Yeah, again, it wouldn't. You'd be like, okay, the Siege Target Master's a little bit ugly, but yeah, it's the right color scheme, and sure, and maybe he comes with these extra guns as well. Yeah, but they didn't do that, and it's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So if you want your
Okay.
completely cartoon accurate version, this is the one you go for. If you want, I don't think that it's a good enough color scheme to get again. If you already have the
I mean,
Japanese version,
if you haven't gotten this already and you haven't got Sandstorm either,
yeah, go for
this
it.
is a good way to get them. It's a weird pair of figures to suddenly think, oh yeah, I'll buy that box for those two specific figures. It's kind of very, very
With Slugslinger being 9 years old at that point.
yeah. But
What was the
and
spring? What was the
I think
sandstorm they used?
Sandstorm, I think they gave him a new head. I think he had the animation model
Oh,
head.
that's right. It was the Age of the Primes one, which was
Leader.
yeah, it was an odd leader. An odd leader.
Odd leader, and apparently that one, the rubber on the tires can dissolve other plastics. I heard.
Really?
But that was on the original release. I think they may have fixed it for this release.
Yeah, because this one had the cartoon face in it, which again,
Mm.
for people that already own Sandstorm, probably wasn't enough to make you want to buy it again. I would have said, it's like, I mean, the cartoon face is probably the face people wanted originally, but okay.
I mean, I'm still amazed that I now own two different Sandstorm figures because I've got the mainline release of that leader and I got the Berlin 30 version. It's like, how have I ended up with two Sandstorms in my collection?
Well, they are two different Sandstorms, so they're not the same at least.
But it's still owning two Sandstorms, which I don't think anyone has ever expressed desire to have in their collection.
Well, Sandstorm is not a very exciting character or design generally. So that's Slugslinger. That's the last use of the mold, I think, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. My favorite mold. I think the Decepticon versions are the best versions of them, and the Legends versions, if you can get them, are very good. Each of them obviously transform the same, but they feel nice doing it. Oddly enough, and it's like the best version of the Seekers. They all transform the same, but they all look different next to each other.
Yeah. And you know what? The fact that all three of these guys share the same design on their lower legs helps them feel like a team.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And because I think I mentioned it before, one of the things I'm quite happy with in my collection is that effectively I have a version of each kind of year of G1's Seekers. So the original three, the Coneheads, Cyclone Scourge, Target Masters, Power Masters. And I'm actually really, and I'm quite happy to have those. They're not all perfect. The versions are of necessarily fully want because some of them I've been replacing those as the years have gone on. But the fact that at one point I could say, yeah, I've done all those first 5 years of G1. I have the main goon squad of each year, which I've always been. It's something in my own collecting journey I've been quite proud of.
Mr. White says a few UK comic fans pined for Sandstorm, but yeah, not exactly the character in demand. No, especially the non-cartoon face. Again, I think the cartoon face would have been. I mean, I don't think the mold was very good, and I don't think people raved about the figure too highly. But I think it should have been the cartoon face one, and the comic / toy face should have been the exclusive that came with the weird Sandstorm, the weird Slugslinger, at least in my opinion. Next up, we have a Double Cross, which I was given as well, because my friend Wayne got the Japanese version instead. I got the one he didn't want. Again, the QC on this, he's a little bit on the loose side, not as loose as a Hot Rod, but still not as like tight as some of the other ones, which again I think was the American feel, is what I called it.
Yeah, my biggest issue with this guy is just because I actually I like quite a bit about him. It's just the way the heads form the arms, because they're kind of. Do you feel like they're missing a joint closer to the head?
I mean, a bit more articulation in the the dragon head arms definitely would have been nice.
'Cause-
I'm not going to
'cause
disagree with you.
You're kind of limited in because all the rotation is in the bicep,
Mm,
in that swivel up just below the shoulder, and there's almost none below the elbow.
yeah, it's
So-
just mouth below the elbow, nothing else.
So the heads are kind of limited in, and I think the frustrating thing is that they've put in 5mm port. You can do stuff with those.
Yep.
They can hold things, and the heads are actually really nicely sculpted. I like those heads,
Yeah, yeah.
but because they're just missing a joint, a swivel, right at the point where
Wrist joint. He needed a
just
quote unquote wrist
needs a
joint.
wrist joint, and
Yeah.
then that I think that would just boost this a lot, because otherwise, what they've done with this, I've always been. I don't think it's completely successful, but I was always terribly impressed that they made the effort to try.
So I will say I like the robot mode. I
Hmm.
don't like how it transforms into the double dragon mode, and I think the double-headed dragon mode looks a bit wank, to be honest.
It does. I think he's probably the weakest beast mode of the monster bots from that we got.
I think he's probably the weakest of the animal Titan Master formers, comparing them to the Headmaster ones as well. One issue I have with the robot mode is he has a waist skirt, but it's just one piece. So it's like a very old Gundam model kit. So if you want to move his legs forward, the entire thing has to flap forward, which never looks good. And in Dragon mode, it's just flips up and it's just right on the front of the dragon, which doesn't look great.
Yeah, it is a bit right there, isn't it?
Yeah. The tail for the dragon doesn't look good, and the way that the torso transitions to the tail part, which are the insides of the feet, I think is how it works out, something like that, looks a bit awkward and doesn't look great. And then you've just got this basically rectangular shape as it goes for the torso, just goes upwards. And you can see how the chest of the robot mode is meant to flip down, but is flipped up to try and like cover up the shoulder joints to hide them. It's just a little bit ugly. Like everything about it is just a little bit ugly. The wings are translucent black. I don't know why, but I don't really mind that. I don't think that's the issue here. It just doesn't look good.
Ugly is very on brand for the old monster bots, but you're right. That the beast mode, it feels like he was probably the least of the three that they wanted to do, but they did him first to get the engineering in place.
Yeah.
To make the others. Because I mean, there's some stuff I do like. I mean, the fact that the beast mode feet, the lower legs fold into what become the feet of the main robot, is kind of fun, and there's a limited rocker because of how they articulate.
It's an idea, but it doesn't look very nice because the feet aren't hidden in that robot mode. They're just sticking out the back, and you can just see the leg on the inside of the foot.
Yeah, I mean, the fact at least that they're black plastic on black plastic at least helps a bit. But yeah, it is a bit ungainly. But yeah, it's a shame because again, this is a monster bot. Who the hell thought we'd get monster bots?
Yeah, it was nice to get it. It's just you look at it and you're like, they needed something. Well, it'd be nice if they did them again recently. With modern engineering.
Congratulations, you're getting monster bots. The monkey's paw curls.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, okay, thanks. Color scheme wise, he's fine. He's perfectly fine. The Japanese version, color scheme wise, it's interesting. It doesn't fix the issues that the robot, the mold has in general, but he's a much darker gray, which is okay looking. I like the fact that the top of the dragon heads, you have like they're all just this gray plastic, except the top of the dragon head is white, and then the horns are silver, and the inside of the mouse are painted. That's really nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
As ever with these, it just feels more premium, and I love that they've redecoed the Titan Master as a Beast Master.
Yeah, and they resculpted Titan Master head, the
Yeah.
little head itself, to be what's his name, the Beastmaster, which looks again really good, looks really nice.
Yeah.
And he comes with one of the Autobot Target Masters, because we're never going to get an Autobot Target Master like Cup, are we? Oh no, we did.
Yeah, I think he comes with blurs.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. Yeah, because Blur didn't
Yeah.
get his because he came out too early.
Yeah, Haywire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Comes with Haywire.
So Haywire does look good. He looks correct, you could say. And he's using the Autobot transformation scheme, so it's better than the Decepticon ones. They've got this weird thing where they've just kind of stuck him on the chest of the dragon mode, which helps the dragon not look quite as crappy, but it's still kind of a crappy dragon mode, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, the darker plastics they've used do help a lot I think, to tie it a bit closer together, but it still has all the same weaknesses you mentioned.
Yeah.
For me,
it wasn't one of the ones I looked at and went, oh, he looks really good, I really want to buy him. It was just like, that's not a good mold. It's better painted, at least.
Yeah.
I like the silly. I liked his little friends more than him. I like the Titan Master. I liked the Target Master, but him, I was like, yeah. That's why I was happy enough to get it for free. It's like, that's fine. I'm happy enough with that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So was there another version of Double Cross? No. So we then go on to a few years later. Oh no, this was in the same year. Yeah, same year. We got a version of Grotesque, the weird flying angry beaver, which I think is probably it's better than Double Cross. It's not perfect, but it looks better. Robot mode, I think, looks better as well. But the weird beaver mode, I think, is a little bit better. The legs on it look weird. The new beaver head looks better. The chest area, because of the new shoulders that they've given the beaver mode, and the fact that you don't need to lift the arms up into the air, make it so he doesn't have just like a rectangular shape to him. It's still a bit awkward looking though, but
I'm trying to remember. I think you can actually pose him on all fours, which also helps.
I would imagine so. I can't think you could.
I think the head can pivot enough to let you do that, so that helps a lot.
Yeah. Do you prefer this over Double Cross?
Yeah, my only real issue is that he was such a pain in the ass to get hold of.
Yes, because he wasn't his normal release, was he?
No, he was one of those odd little releases of that late 2010s period where Hasbro were doing all these. It wasn't Pulse, and it wasn't quite Gen Selects, but they were all really hard to get hold of. I think in my instance, I got it because someone in the States found somewhere selling them for like $5.
Oh.
And went to one of the fan groups and said, look, I can get these and ship them as a bulk lot. How many people want one? And she had like 20 of us go, yes, please. So
damn.
They all got shipped across to someone here in the UK, and we gave them a bit of extra postage to ship it to us individually. And yeah.
Well, you did mention these weren't easy to get, and it does say that he was made available via HasbroToyShop.com prior to Hasbro Pulse, without warning, selling out in about 3 hours. He was later available on the US Toys R Us website beginning in 2018. Doesn't say about UK release if it ever got one. I'm assuming it probably didn't, because fuck you.
No, I think some of the importers had it, and that was about it.
That would be my guess as well.
Yeah, it was an odd one as well because it came with a Scorponok Titan Master as well
for some reason. One. Yeah, it's just well, okay, whatever. XL Hedge says, to be fair, Age of the Prime Sandstorm was already going to have a hard time following the Thrilling 30s mold. True, but I think for it came out quite a few years after the Thrilling 30s and didn't even come close to it.
Yeah.
And it had the excuse of it should have been a lot better, just because technology and advancements in design there was quite a few years under its belt, and it was not nearly as good. The Legends, of course, did their version of Grotesque, but I can't see if it's any different, really, because they've only got a picture of it in the box.
I think this was towards the end. of when Grotesque got released, because they repackaged their version of Repugnus with him, minus some of the extra bits they put in with Repugnus for their Legends release.
Yeah.
But it was, I mean, I'm just glad that if people hadn't been able to pick him up before, people could finally get Repugnus more easily.
Yeah, I think you might be right that there isn't any differences here. It says that this is an LG EX version, so this was not part of the main Legends line as a standard release. The EX means it was a special release, so you're probably right. That's why it doesn't have any differences. And it came in a 2-pack, so the Japanese probably grabbed these two and went, "Ah, fuck, okay, America decided to release them in a weird way. Okay, we'll stick them in a 2-pack and slap them out together." So we can't talk about if there are any differences here. I don't think there are.
Although it's weird because Repugnus is an odd one, because I'm pretty sure that's weird. I'd have sworn he had a separate release in Legends. Never mind.
No, it doesn't seem like he does. We do have the Repugnus figure, which is again a retool of the Double Cross mold. I don't think it's as good as Grotesque, but I still think it looks a little bit better than Double Cross. It's still a bit flumpy and wobbly, but he's not just a rectangle in animal mode, thankfully.
No,
it's just the lower half that's weird.
Big weird bug energy though, which I kind of love.
Yes, but I just wish it was a little bit better. a little bit better.
I mean,
it's fine though.
Honestly, if I'd had the cash, I'd have probably, because what was it? Who did the big masterpiece size monster bots?
Oh, Gigastorm?
Might have been them, yeah, because they by all accounts they were lovely, but they were quite outside my price bracket at this point.
They didn't really fit in with anything either, though. They were very puffy. Is how I would describe the design.
They were huge.
Yeah,
but this was just nice to have them, and I kind of love little things like how his beast mode arms on his breastplate, given how they collapse in.
Well, they did with the original toy, so they kind of kept that, which was nice.
Yeah, I dig the swords they gave him that combined to form a little sled. That's cute.
I mean, I would disagree. I don't think the vehicle city in the weapon things ever really look good, and this makes even less sense. At least the guns are kind of meant to be like flying gun thing, where this is just like a flying blade sled.
Yeah,
you know, if you sliced off the seat part. If you sliced off the seat part and if you look at the image and it was just the blade part, without the big seat part behind it, that would be better.
That'd be a great accessory.
Yeah, they look really cool. So I'm not too fond of that. But that's fair. Repugnus does look nice once again. I like the big bug head that they gave him. And again, he came in the 2-pack, so there's no point really covering any further because we've already done that. The mold was then.
No, I was just going to say, it is fun though that Repugnus is one of the characters who you can actually pair him with his Titan Master version.
Yeah.
And you get a different head sculpt for him out of it.
Yeah, because for those not aware of, can't remember, the Legends Brawn or Gong came with Repug or Repugnus's head. So that's why Hasbro did it again, because it went, oh, well, I guess America's doing Repugnus. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. The mold was again later used in Buzzworthy in one of their great smart moves as Hasbro, not fucking over the fans, in a 4-pack where they turned him into Fangry. Sure, that won't be a pain in the ass to get.
I mean, not anymore, because he's out in, a month or two's time?
Something like that, yeah. 5-year-old mold. Well, it came out in 2021, and then it's coming out again in an individual package in 2026, and technically will be more expensive than when he came out in 2021 as part of that 4-pack, just because of how the breakdown works. So that's really fun. The Fangry mold does look nice, though. All the things that they've retooled on him, like the arms, the chest panel. Technically, I think they've given him a new head, because I don't think they use the same head Titan Master that they used for the original individual release of Fangry.
It's a new head, new beast. new beast head, new arms, and I think for wings they've just cast. It's just a different material they cast.
Yeah, it's the same wings. Yeah.
Otherwise, and a new chest piece on the robot.
Yeah. The issue is, as ever with this mold, the legs don't really transform and look really fucking ugly in monster mode, but it's a good looking version of Fangry.
Yeah.
It just came in.
They released them in one of the most frustrating releases imaginable.
Well, at least they'll only do it for the Titan Master Juniors, right? And they won't do it for any other kind of interesting Decepticon trio or quadro, right? Deluxe Insector who? The what? No reason. Yeah, is there any differences between the Fangry coming out and the previous Fangry?
Apparently they fixed his knees and hips, so they're no longer loose.
Oh, well, that's good.
Otherwise, I don't think there is, because I don't think he comes with a gun of any sort.
No, he didn't originally.
No, but it's annoying that they didn't put one in for this release of him, because...
Could have thrown anything in. Yeah, they should have done.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you couldn't have had a gun. You made your money off him.
Yeah, it's kind of the bare minimum we expect of a main release, a weapon of some sort.
You'd hope so. And I mean, the original figure came with one, so... You know.
Yeah.
XL Hedge says, waiting to see if the Fangry re-release fixes all the loose joints before buying it. Well, they say it's fine, but I think it's probably, it's not a bad idea to wait. XL Hedge, just for those reviews. Never bad to wait.
We shall see.
Yeah.
I think it's only a matter of months until it's released now. So
yeah, it can't be too far off, because the next wave is just repaints, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's how I remembered it. Next up, we have Perceptor. Definitely the... Really? Okay, sure.
It was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, this was sort of, kind of, but not really IDW Perceptor. And yeah, he's only really he's really only IDW Perceptor because he comes with a sniper rifle, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like the headmaster face is not one with a scope for an eye. It's just G1 Perceptor, but I guess they were trying to do G1 and slightly capitalize on IDW as well.
Yeah, because this was around the point where IDW was on a bit of a hot streak with Modern Meets Fire was kicking off, and Perceptor was a he was a significant side character of that run after his pretty star-making turn in All Hail Megatron, to be fair.
Yep.
But it's a weird... You'd have thought that if they were going for this particular iteration, they would have at least given him the target monocle,
Like I say, I think they were just trying to hit two bowls at the same time,
Yeah.
And it's weird because I feel Perceptor kind of flops into the same kind of place that Soundwave flops into, as in, and Blaster, where they only transform one specific way, and it's usually the same way they transform all the time, because this transforms pretty much the same as the original G1 toy. Not exactly the same, but it's pretty much the same. And you can see this by his microscope mode and the fact he can make his weird sort of Microman bizarre tank thing. Yeah.
It's a shame as well, because I really have a soft spot for the reveal of a shield Perceptor.
Oh, the weird truck thing. That's a weird one.
Yeah. the Arctic Explorer. That's the Perceptor on my records shelf.
Okay.
Just because it looks more like how he looks in the book. And this, it just felt weird.
Yeah. It's an odd choice. Like, why would you put him in Titan's Return? Why is he a headmaster? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. Again, he was way too close to the G1 toy for my liking.
It fell a bit with this line where they were they were struggling to find characters to pad out the roster. And they didn't want to go back to the first two seasons of G1. So they thought they'd go into season 3 because that hadn't really been mined terribly, not a mass as much as the first two seasons had been.
And it's weird because there was there were guys they did for the Titan Master range who you could have made into figures, like Siren, like Nightbeat. You like Grimlock. I mean, I wouldn't have been jumping for joy to do Grimlock, but you could have done the rest of the Headmaster Juniors.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
You know,
That
you
would have
technically
been-
did heads for them, so why didn't you just do bodies for them instead? Why didn't you
Yeah.
make Preceptor a Titan Master instead, and make Optimus Prime a Titan Master, just like the little head with the weird shitty
Hell yeah.
vehicle? That would have.
Hell, the-
I wouldn't say that would make
Optimus-
sense, but you go, okay, I could see why people would buy a little tiny head of Optimus Prime. Sure, that makes sense.
yeah. But you can even do that as a callback to what was it? The early years of G1 comic where Prime had his head nicked by Shockwave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deep
Could-
cut, but there's ways they could have done it, and it just
You did Quake.
it's
Why no Needle Nose? Why no
Spinister. Yeah.
Spinister? Why not Scoop? Why not Quick Mix? Why not Landfill? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. if you did like Landfill,
hell,
you could have
they
done
did-
Long Haul. It wouldn't make much sense, but
think about it. It's taken them this long to give us the last of the Decepticon Headmaster Juniors.
yeah,
Why weren't all three of them part of Titan's Return
over Preceptor.
from as actual Deluxes rather than in the Titan Master line?
hmm
It's there are some very odd moves on this, especially as the Headmaster Juniors give. They're a set of characters for Takara immediately. That gives them a whole bunch of repaints. So you can get them on board with.
Yeah, they could have
tooling.
done their versions. Yeah.
Yeah, so that saves you on a bit on the budget there because it's a code development rather than doing it. I'm not entirely sure how they manage these things, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's an easier sell to Takara. You can say we're doing these characters, but in your part of the franchise, we're given these decos.
Yeah, you can do your versions. They'll be like, oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, cool. Rock and roll. It's odd. And then again, you look and you go, oh, yeah, Perceptor. And you okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The Japanese did their version. He's, in all honesty, he's not that different. You look at it and you're like, fine.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
still Perceptor. He has a ram horn that's a bit more nicely painted.
Yeah.
Overall,
Yeah.
looks better in gun mode, but it's still. The thing is, it's by no means a bad figure of Perceptor.
No, it's just once again you look at it and go, do I need it? And you go, not really. It's not that much better than the American one.
Yeah.
Do I really want an American Titan Master Perceptor? Yeah.
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 And I'll be honest, it's probably one that when I finally get around to doing a bit of a clear out, I'll probably try and shift my Perceptor just because.
I mean, you've got the Studio Series one, don't you? So
Studio Series,
Yeah.
I have the revealable shield version. That covers both the versions I really need in my collection.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and this one kind of sits in that weird spot of it's G1, but it's also
It's
not
not.
G1. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the point? It's a bizarre release. Mr. White says this almost feels like Missing Link Preceptor before they realized that was a thing that would sell, sort of. But again, I think that's a problem with just Preceptor in general because I don't think the Studio Series does anything exceptionally different in terms of how it
Not
transforms,
really.
right? It's like I say, it's the Soundwave problem. They transform pretty much
Yeah.
the exact same way.
yeah,
For the most part.
It's just refining the engineering, and there comes a point where they're just not.
And even then, sometimes it's not even refining. It's just like slight tweaks, you know?
Yeah,
Not big ones,
And-
just like, oh,
and
there's
so-
a few different panels here and there. And that's about it.
yeah, and reaching
Yeah.
a point where you're just like, could you do something more exciting, please?
This, like I say, this is the problem with Soundwave's probably the worst offender because we've had so many Soundwaves over the years.
Yes.
I bet if you put like G1 Soundwave next to all of the G1-esque Soundwaves, you'd be horrified by how similar they all are.
Oh,
And
God,
it's because,
yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, it's because the original Soundwave transformed really well. He nailed it. He got it back. The Diaclone guys or the Microman guys got it the first time round.
It's an iconic bit of design. It's one where it just needs them to add more articulation to make it to make it flow with what's expected.
And even then, they
Otherwise,
didn't need that much more articulation.
No,
looking
not
at the
at all.
missing link version.
Yeah.
Let's see. XL Head says all lean into the fact that he was supposed to be a weird triple changer. Yeah, I'd say maybe make the tank thing for Perceptor the primary mode and make the microscope maybe the secondary one. Mr. White says, I just wish I could hear Hasbro's process of deciding which figures to release on a dartboard. Release a dartboard ? Dice ? Maybe it was something like that. I don't know. And Exelhead says they really need to update Perceptor's alt mode or give him some acceptable alt mode beside the microscope. Heck, give us a tank version of him. I mean, if Megatron's not allowed to be a gun anymore, then why Soundwave a cassette player? Why is Perceptor microscope?
Actually, you know what? Perceptor, no, don't not make him a microscope. Make him a better representation of a microscope, because his microscope mode is kind of shit.
Well, let me tell you why they can't make but by fan reasons why they can't make him a microscope anymore. Because there are fans out there, and I've seen them do it when they've reviewed Studio Series Megatron, where they say, well, it's silly. Megatron can't be a gun because mass shifting's silly. And yeah, I don't ever hear those exact same people complain about Soundwave being a cassette player.
Yeah.
Or Perceptor being a microscope. Those same people never say anything to that effect.
Yeah. And
Ever.
honestly, mass shifting is the least sin of the Transformers franchise.
Yeah, I don't mind mass shifting. I think if a
mass
robot can
fun.
if a robot can talk and traverse space and transform into a thing, why can't it shrink its size?
Yeah.
It's sci-fi. It doesn't need to make sense.
Absolutely. But no, I do a Perceptor that doesn't just transform into the old, the old Diaclone microscope. Make him turn into a proper scientific-looking microscope, something you would expect to see in a scientific setting.
How about instead of a microscope, he transforms into a proper observatory telescope?
Oh yeah, yes.
Because that would get rid of the he has to mass shift. It would get rid of that, and it'd still be in keeping because it's scientific. It's a microscope, but different, but the same.
Have him form a proper scientific astronomical array. That'd be quite fun. Yeah,
like the really fancy ones where you see them in observatories, and you're like, oh, that's a telescope. I don't mean just a shitty home telescope that you can get for like £500. I mean like the government ones.
The actual array. The telescope's like. He's just the delivery system for the telescope at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then if you want to be like, oh, he can also fire lasers and he can be an artillery piece because of that, I'm fine with that. That'd be okay for me. I think that's acceptable, and I would keep within Perceptor's lore and character and whatnot. That'd be fine for me. Next,
and I've just seen the last use of this mold.
What was the last use of the mold? I think I clicked off of it.
Golden Lagoon Perceptor.
Oh, no, fuck. We're not talking about that. It's just gold. Who gives a fuck?
He's golden toppy.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Do you want it? No? Good. Good taste. Now, oddly enough, I didn't get these guys, but I kind of wish I had. Topspin and Twin Twist.
Do you want to hear something quite funny?
Go on.
I had both Titan's Return, Topspin and Twin Twist bought at retail prices.
Yeah.
And I only had them for a month, and then I flogged the two of them for way under what I could have gotten from like a week later.
Why?
Well,
do you not like them? With the molds bad?
Well, the thing is, no, they're not bad. It was just I'd already picked up. There was that third-party Topspin and Twin Twist.
I don't remember which ones.
They were deluxe scaled, actually a little smaller than deluxe.
Are they the ones that were repainted for TFN into like the Mexican versions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and I quite like both of them. Came with quite an arsenal of hammers and guns and other fun stuff, and I just didn't really. I don't know why. Some reason I thing is, I had both of these two as a kid, Topspin and Twin Twist. I had quite a lot of attachment to them as characters because I'd follow them to their demise in, of course, the Wreckers saga in G1. I'd enjoyed seeing their appearances in IDW.
Hmm.
But for some reason, I just felt like getting short of them. I'm still not sure why.
I assume you just didn't like them that much. It must just come down to they didn't do anything for you.
Yeah, I just don't think I think I just preferred the third-party versions.
Yeah, because if you liked them, you would have kept them.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are kind of like Preceptor, where you look at them and you're like, why are they here? But for some reason, because there's nothing to the original toys, I don't mind them being here in the Titans Return line.
Yeah, these feel more like they make sense because it's Topspin and Twin Twist. They haven't had toys since
the original.
Yes.
Yeah, so like these were way more realized as vehicles as well. They actually looked like a vehicle, unlike the original toys.
Their names had been used for Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, oh god, recently. Yeah.
So this was, this was our first real shot of these guys for decades at this point.
And the Hasbro ones didn't have shitty seat guns. They just had normal kind of guns. I don't think they're shitty seat guns, are they? Oh no, they can combine together.
Gun, but it's nowhere near as bad as some of the others.
They just look like normal guns.
For one thing, it's got a central peg, but there's a half of it on each half of the gun.
Oh, that sounds a bit risky. Like it could snap because it's half of a peg.
It could. But it goes together quite nice, and it does sit more centrally in the hand, which feels better than some of the other combined guns that they did, where they had a peg on either side, and it just never really looked right trying to use it that way.
Yeah.
And it does look like a pretty beefy 4-barreled gun of death, to be fair, so that's fun.
Yeah. And the ship mode's good. I can't talk about how good the transformation is, like I say, because I never had it, but it's a good, decent
It was a decent transformation. It doesn't use the same engineering as Trigger Happy and Friends, but the legs especially have a bit of that DNA to the way they compress.
Okay.
But it was actually a nice transformation. Like I say, I don't think I got a shot of these due to any dislike. It was just they didn't do anything for me. They
didn't sparkle your life.
Yeah, so put it in Top Gear terms, they didn't give me the fears.
So for the Japanese version, it looks like they've just, instead of having a baby blue version, they've just kind of darkened down the blue. And then they went, we're going to give them the Autobot Target Masters.
Yeah.
Where are they? And we wouldn't see them until multiple lines later.
Yep.
For some reason. Again, I don't begrudge Topspin and Twin Twist being here, but would I have preferred the Autobot Target Masters here instead? Yeah, probably. Yeah. They would have been more appropriate here, you could argue.
Yeah. Or you know what? Even if we didn't get them, if Hasbro had just done like a gift pack of all the Target Masters that Takara had done.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it with a lot of the Titan Masters on both sides of it, both in Japan and in the West. They did packs of various Titan Masters that had been exclusive to one territory or the other. Give us the bloody guns.
They didn't, though. And for Age of the Primes, for some reason, they released the 2-pack of them in the Diaclone form, so the red and dark blue. They look pretty good in terms of that kind of color scheme, at least. At least Topspin does.
Wasn't just Topspin who got released?
Did they do Twin Twist? I thought they did Twin Twist as well. Well, once we get to Twin Twist, we'll talk about Twin Twist.
Oh, they did do a Twin Twist.
Yeah. They're probably in just separate 2-packs, I'm guessing. XL Head says, Titan class Preceptor Observatory. No, it doesn't need to be that. It just needs to be a deluxe figure or a Voyager figure. No one would buy a Titan class Preceptor Observatory. That'd be way too big and expensive. XL Hedge also says, I have the red/blue Topspin. The gun refuses to combine due to either plastic or paint is too thick. And I found him so boring, I put him in alt mode and never changed him back. Why didn't you? What made him boring out of interest, Exel Hedge? Was it how he transformed? Was it the robot mode? Like, what do you mean by that? Do you want to expand on that? We'll get back to that once you've replied. But I think for robot mode, he looks good. And we do have...
Yeah. I suspect it is probably a paint issue thickening up for pegs. That's what's stopping that combining, because
I think that's fair. Yeah. So Twin Twist was obviously done as well. He is basically the same mold, just very slightly different, as he has treads instead of wings, and then a slightly different colored head. Oh, you're right about the seat gun. It looks weird sitting there. I think that I think the tank mode or the drill tank looks quite nice. He's just very, very white and grey white.
Which is kind of, unfortunately,
it's
how he looked.
Yeah. I mean, they've done enough with like adding red kneecaps and bits of yellow here and there, but he is just like one color.
He is, but he does, like you say, he does have more bits of spot color than you would generally expect off of Hasbro, so fair play to him for that.
And the Japanese didn't do too much more. They've just added a little bit more on the shoulders. I don't know how his back looks, because if you look at the Japanese image, the drill is not like smooth up against his back, so there's just a hole in his side, if you see what I mean.
Because I'm sure they can sit quite tightly to the back.
I would imagine they could.
Because that's part of Twin Twist's look, that the points of his drills do kind of poke over his shoulders. Not a massive amount, but enough that, that they're there. So it's odd that none of the 3 Twin Twists we've seen have had those all the way back in. Because I'm sure it wasn't as hollow as it looks.
Well, like I say, I don't know. I never had the mold, so I couldn't say. The Japanese didn't do too much. He's just a little bit of a darker blue, and then a couple more splodges on his shoulder. Then he also comes with another Target Master, because...
Yep.
Because...
Because screw you guys.
Yep, I guess. Interesting, I guess. And then there is the... it's bumped me down. The Legacy version, the Diaclone version, where he is the dark blue and the red. So visually, he's a bit more interesting. I still think I prefer the the other one, Topspin. The Topspin color scheme.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Like where it's primarily red to blue, then blue to red. I guess in terms of visuals, the Diaclone versions are arguably a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, and you know what? It is nice that these 2 molds have been available. As much as it would have been nice to have had new versions of them, the fact that at least they've gotten a re-release. So if people, because they were quite in demand, they still are, to be fair. The original 2, they've always tended to be quite.
Do you mean the original 2 as in the Titans Return mold? Did you mean
the Titans Return?
Oh, versions. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's why I kind of regret selling them as quick as I did, because if I'd waited, I could have made a decent packet off 2 of them. But you know how it is.
Yeah, yes, it's how it goes.
Live and learn.
Yeah,
but it's nice if they were made available. It might not have been in the deco that people would have wanted, but I think
you can get the mold at least, I guess.
Yeah, you can get the mold. The deco looks decent. Yeah.
And then we have. we've talked about that one. And then the last one we have, deluxe wise, is Sergeant Cup and Flintlock.
Woohoo!
This is a really good cup mold. However, the color scheme for the American version, I don't think is very good. It's they went for the toy color scheme.
Yeah, and it's a shame because, I mean, let's be honest, the Takara one, just ignoring the remods they did, the deco on it is absolutely killer.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
But yeah, it's a frustration because this, like I say, this is a good cup.
Yeah, it's a very good cup.
If you want a cup that can sit happily in, either a movie or an IDW style display shelf. Probably leaning a bit more IDW in fairness. This is a decent add to the collection. It's a good robot. It's a good alt mode. It's
And the transformation is really interesting. The fact that
yeah,
he basically keeps all of the truck within his legs, and his legs kind of explode from the knee downwards. They just explode outwards and unfold, and they're able to then refold into the shape of the back of the truck, in quotations, mode that he has. It's really interesting. I like the fact that the front of the car truck hides inside of his tummy, and you just kind of flip that out, and the cockpit works quite nicely. I again, the Japanese do it better when we get to it. I don't like on the American version how you can just see the front of the truck very visible inside of the translucent cockpit. I don't think that looks very nice.
That's a little messy. I mean, like I say, the biggest negative is just the shade of teal they've gone for.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you think Cup, you don't think this. I mean, even if you have the original toy, you don't think this, even though technically that's what Cup is. I do like his guns. I think the guns are really nice. I wish those guns came with the Japanese version, but they don't.
Yeah, I mean, they're another pair that slot together and you can sit the Time Master in. Don't need to, though, because they work quite nicely as guns on their own.
Yeah, so. I didn't even know they slotted together, to be honest. I wasn't sure that was the thing, so that's nice to know. But yeah, you mentioned the Japanese version. That's the one I have. They remolded the face on it and then made him into, let's just say, the movie color scheme sometimes version of Cup.
Yes, yeah,
sort of.
I'd go with that.
I mean, it's close enough, right?
So, yeah, more of a dark, I think almost a German World War II drab green.
Yeah, kind of grayish, greeny kind of thingy.
They've made for lighter elements a bit more of an off mint, a white with a hint of mint to it more than anything else.
Yeah.
So it's not quite as overpowering.
Yeah.
It all just feels nicer.
Feels like Cup. It feels like what you would want.
Yeah. They've remolded the shoulders, which is it just shoulder? Have they done the whole arm? Oh no, they did the whole arms. Huh.
Yeah, which
that more rounded feel. Which
again, it helps. You don't notice it initially, but you look at it again and you're like, oh yeah. I think the negative side of remolding the arms is it makes it less clean for the vehicle mode. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not as neat and tidy because with the big squared off shoulders, just kind of looks like it's part of the back of the cab. The rounded off ones, you're like, they're just arms folded.
Yes.
So it's not as pretty.
But it still holds together overall, I think.
Oh, yeah. So, I think it looks a lot nicer. The pegs in the back where the double guns went, you can put the Target Master, but they've got it here, the Target Master facing forward. It doesn't really work that way. It looks better facing backwards. But he does get his own Target Master.
Yeah.
Gets the correct one. So, like Rodimus, Blur's the only one out of the Autobot Target Masters who got screwed over.
Womp womp.
Womp womp indeed. I do like the face sculpt. It's not perfect, but it is closer to what you would want Cup to look like. Again, it looks like an old robot rather than generic.
It's got a bit of the James Roberts look from Spotlight Cup. You know?
Yeah. You can tell they were trying to go. They weren't going for that. They were clearly going for the animation model, but it just they didn't quite hit it. But it's good enough, is how I would put it, compared to the American one, which it's fine. It just doesn't really look like Cup.
Yeah.
And I don't think the ones that came later were better. I think the Deluxe Cup's okay. But I think this one's still good enough to kind of hold its own quite nicely.
Yeah, Deluxe Cup, I need to see if I can find a decent... Because I still have the other heads from the old... who did the upgrade kit with the guns?
Perfect Effect?
No, not Perfect Effect. They did for guns of him and Perceptor, and the heads as well for Cup with the cigar.
It wasn't Perfect Effect?
I don't think it was.
I can't remember then.
It wasn't render form.
No.
it's a company that's long gone now, but
Yeah.
they did a couple of heads for the Chug Cup
Mm-mm.
that resembled his
It's the
IDW
Saigar
comic
one.
design.
It's the one that you
Yeah.
used as your icon for the longest time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's also one that doesn't have the Saigar.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I'm tempted to see if that would work on Studio Series Cup, because I don't like that version's head sculpt.
Yeah, it's weird.
And-
It's again not quite right.
Yeah, and I know there are decent third-party heads for him out there, but I don't want to spend 20 quid on one
Understandable.
because I'm not quite that stupid.
That's good to know. But that was the last of the molds. I don't think the cup was ever used. Oh no, he was used for Orion packs.
Yeah,
as a part of a tribute thing. Hang on, where's the link to it? Age of Extinction tribute. There it is. I just need the image to load. So this was done. No, that's not the one. Oh, a part of Orion packs. Which one is it? Is it the top image or the bottom image? Because it hasn't loaded.
It's the top one.
Top one. Okay, thank you. That should load faster now. Okay, so yeah, it's done into Orion packs. The face is new. He has his old cup guns, and he's using the standard cup arms from the American release. And for an Orion packs, yeah,
this works. Yeah,
it works pretty well. I can't really see the face too well.
Guard logos, which is it fits for a version of Orion pack. So I'm down for that.
I'd probably prefer him not to have it, just to make him a bit more generic-y Orion packs, but it's part of a tribute pack, whatever. I don't think the head sculpt hits Orion packs, but it's hard to tell because it's not a great image of the face.
Yeah, the angle's not great, unfortunately.
I mean, again, like I say, it doesn't look quite right for Orion packs being youthful and all that jazz, but as an idea to use this mold again, this would make the most sense. The only other thing I could think of maybe doing is Dion, right? You could maybe get away with Dion, but it's better as Orion packs, generally speaking.
Yeah. And I mean, this was itself a bit of a callback to, because I think back in the day they did an e-hobby or something exclusive of the original cup as Orion packs.
I think you're right. I think we might have covered it at some point.
Yeah, which is why they did this version. But it's nice that it exists.
Yeah, it's all right.
There are options out there.
And
it comes with one for best Optimus Prime toys as well. One of my personal faves.
Which is what one?
War for Cybertron.
Oh, is it that one it comes with? Okay.
Yeah, with the flip out machine gun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fun one. But that's it. That's all of the deluxes we've covered. We managed to do it all. So yeah, we're definitely going to get through this faster. It's not going to be 6 parts like Combiner Wars was, thankfully. It's still going to be a couple. But as we move on to the Voyagers next time you and me converse Big D.
Oh lordy.
Oh, yes.
We get to deal with the original Tango Mussolini.
What?
Sentinel Prime.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, yeah. I think I'm happy to say that the Voyagers are generally not as good as the Deluxes.
Yes, that's I think of. You know what? I'd go as far as to say I think Titan's Return peaks with a lot of the Deluxes.
Yes, I would say so. I don't like the
classes.
I think they get progressively worse because I think the Voyagers are better than the leaders. I don't think I have any of the leaders. Do I? I'm having a look at the list. Fort Mac. No, that's Titan class. I can't read.
I had Blaster and Soundwave. I've given both to my nephew.
Yeah, I didn't have them. I didn't have Power Master Prime.
Have Six Shot. I have Sky Shadow, and I have the Takara Jinrai.
I have Six Shot. I have Overlord, and I have Sky Shadow, and that's it. So I've got like half of them. It's basically it's wave 3 onwards. I don't have waves 1 or 2, which is like
so
basically half of them.
You've gone for all 3 of the Decepticon phase 6s.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And I mean, Six Shot has its problems, to be fair.
Yeah.
And that's just
But-
QC issues more so than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that I think tends to be the biggest problem with Titan's Return. There is some shocking QC across the line.
I don't understand why. I mean, QC was, I guess QC was heading downhill as Combiner Wars went on, but for some reason it hit like Titan's Return pretty hard.
And it's a shame
Pretty
because
bad.
there's a lot of stuff in it. Although not a lot of the molds do have things we've said are negatives. For the most part, if the QC was better, those negatives would not could have been overlooked.
And it's why, again, the Legends versions were usually better because usually their QC was better. Wasn't like amazing QC, but it was generally a lot more solid, thankfully. But Big D, where can people find you online if you want to be found, to be talking to and talking about and listening to your waffling and ranting with Mr. White?
Oh, I am everywhere as David Kelly because I don't try to hide. With the good Mr. Gruff, I'm his occasional sidekick on the Deeper Dives on the Fluff and Hammer Patreon show, where we find an article from White Dwarf and we dive deeply into it and normally wind up with daft ideas for projects that we really shouldn't engage in, but we both have zero willpower in that regard. And then with the good Mr. White, we do Fluff and Busters, a show where we pick a film and we record a commentary track, and it's great fun, really enjoyable. The most recent one to come out is Hardware, which he did with Mr. Gruff. We recorded. What did we do this week? What did we do this week? My brain's gone blank on what we just did. That feels terrible.
Is that memorable?
No, I've had a very busy day. My brain's just winding down a bit. Mr. White, what did we do this week? Remind me.
Mr. White, eyes fully dilating. He's drooling. He doesn't know what's going on anymore.
But we're starting on some of the some of the films we want to get out in run up to Halloween and Christmas. So we're going to start recording commentaries for all of the diehards.
Oh, okay.
As one of our Christmas specials.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We're starting at number 5 and working backwards.
I'll say, that's probably the best way to go. Get the bad ones out of the way.
Ending on a high note, because otherwise we'll want to murder each other if we do it the way around.
I mean, I'd pretend that there's only 3 Die Hard movies, to be fair. I try not to remember that there's anything after the fact.
That's fair. It gets even weirder when you remember that Tears for Sun was originally planned as a Die Hard movie.
What's that?
Do you not remember Tears for Sun?
No.
Bruce Willis and Monica Bellucci, where he played a special forces officer.
It. Never heard of it.
Yeah. Apparently it was originally planned as a Die Hard film, and then they changed it, but still had him starring in it.
Oh. Was Hostage meant to be a Die Hard thing? Because that was pretty good. You know Hostage?
For a second, my brain went to Ransom with Mel Gibson.
No.
I'm sure. I think I do know Hostage.
2005. Some teenagers break into a rich person's house and take the family hostage. Bruce Willis got to bust in there and save the family. One of the kids looks like a Columbine shooter. He's got like long hair and it's black, and he wears like a trench coat, and he's clearly like emo, gothy kind of stereotype.
That is ringing some bells now.
Yeah.
Yes, the history of the Die Hard franchise is interesting, to put it mildly.
I bet. Mr. White's show, the next show out is Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
And then after that, it's Pitch Black.
That was it. We did Pitch Black this week. God, my brain's terrible at the moment. But yes, that's me. We've been enjoying we put one out every 2 weeks or so. Mr. White is an absolute machine for getting the editing done. They're just fun to do, and if anyone's interested, pop on over and have a listen. See if anything catches your fancy.
You should do a Christmas movie with someone different each. 25 days of different reviews with 25 different people. There you go.
Are you volunteering to edit that, Andy?
Well, am I getting paid?
That wasn't. That's why I used the term volunteer.
No. Never give something away for free. That's what I've been told, and I've been giving stuff away for free for years. Years and years.
Yeah.
So is that it, Big D? Or is
Yeah,
that everything?
that's pretty much it for me.
Okay, well, you can find me on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, and iTunes as Decayed Andy. All those places doing MechWarrior at the moment online, slowly climbing up to the clans. And then you can find me on the Moonbase 2 podcast on a Sunday, like we're doing today at 9:30 in the evening UK time. Mr. White says, You think I'm getting paid? No, because it's your show. It's not my show, so I would expect to get paid. If I'm going to get an editor for my show, I would expect to pay them. That's how that would work. You can come and see us on the ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to go first that way as well. Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast. You'll probably find us. And we'll be back next week, maybe with the news, depending on if there's anything interesting that's happening, which, it's been like nearly 3 weeks since we've done the news by next week. So
yeah, there should be something by that point.
You'd hope so. You'd hope something would have cropped up. But until next week, thank you guys for coming on by, and thank you, Big D, for joining me.
No worries.
And we will see you next week for more Transformers, woo-woo, and nonsense.